Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a full push-up in just 5 steps. For our demonstration today, all you'll need is an exercise mat and enough room on the floor to make a snow angel. So a push-up is a great whole body exercise. So I want to go over just a couple mechanics before we get started that will work for you in all 5 steps as you progress to a full push-up. So I'm going to have you bring your hands right beside your chest and then bring them beside your shoulders. So see if you can just feel the difference in your shoulders and your back too in those 2 positions. So what's going to happen when I have the hands outside the chest is I'm going to use a lot more of my core. I'm going to use my ab muscles. I'm going to use my back. And those muscles have a lot more push potential alongside the chest and the shoulders. So the whole time I'm going through this, I'm going to try to keep my thumbs kind of lined up with my chest. Now, the second thing I want you to think about as you're doing this press and pull is what the shoulder blades are doing. A lot of us will start to hike the shoulder blades up to our ears and kind of keep them there. So instead, we want them to go through a full range of motion. When I push away, the shoulder blades are going to come up. And then when I pull back towards me, the shoulder blades go down. So that is also going to be really important in training the muscles in our back and shoulders to help us out with this. So you're going to get a lot more strength, toning, and have healthy, strong shoulders coming out of this if you can learn those 2 things. The last thing I want you to think about that's a little harder to show you when I'm in push-up position is that the whole time I'm going to be thinking about pushing my thumbs towards one another, because the chest muscles actually help us a lot alongside the biceps when we're holding things, squeezing things in front of the body. So if I can think about pushing the thumbs together, I'm going to ignite those muscles and they're going to help me do that push away. So for the first step in our push-up progression, I'm going to come into that wide-handed position outside the chest on the knees. I'm going to draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes. So I'm going to do a controlled belly flop and then walk the forearms in and push back into child's pose. So let yourself come up and repeat that at your own pace. If you're feeling anxious about doing a controlled belly flop and think you're going to plant your face, just put a pillow right underneath your head for the first few. And that will help some of that mental part of the belly flop. As you build strength in this, you will find that you don't need it. So if I focus as I lower on pulling the belly in, squeezing the glute muscles, I'm actually going to start to find that I have more control in that lower down than I think I do. Those core muscles are really going to help us eccentrically. And then walking the forearms back in will give me that stability as I push back into child's pose. And if you need to stay in child's pose a little bit longer, there's no shame in that. So my hips should be hugely helping me out here. Going back into child's pose, I'm going to use the hips to pull my body back along with pushing into my forearms. So if you feel like you really don't have a whole lot of upper body strength, this is a really good way to start building it, because you're building it in those muscles in that eccentric phase, in that lower to the ground, and then you're giving yourself an assist on the way back up. All right, nice work. Let's move on to step 2. So for the second progression of our push-up, I'm going to walk the hands out on the sides of my chest, do that controlled lower down, drawing the belly in, and then I'm just going to keep the hands wide as I push back into child's pose. You're going to notice immediately that it's a lot harder to keep your hands wide like this. So really remember, pushing the thumbs together is going to help you use those chest muscles. So even though you're not actually pushing your thumbs together, you're really igniting those chest muscles. And then as you're using the hips to pull yourself back, you're taking some tension off the upper body, and you're learning to use the legs in push-ups as well. And these don't all have to be the same. So you could do a couple with that wide hand position where you're really training your chest, and a couple where you walk the forearms back in. Remember, let yourself progress as you're ready. If you're diligent with this, you will progress to a full push-up eventually, I guarantee it. So for that third progression of our push-ups, this is where we're really going to do what most people refer to as a modified push-up. So I'm going to bring the hands right outside my chest. I'm going to draw the belly button in and squeeze the glutes as I control the lower to about 90% of the way down to the floor, or whatever I think that is, and then push back up. If I can, I'm going to just keep going down and coming back up. Remember, child's pose is always there for you if you need it. So think about that range of motion in the shoulder blades. As I lower myself down, the shoulder blades pinch together. And then as I push away, I'm going to feel the shoulder blades move up towards my ears. So make sure that you're allowing your shoulders to go through that full range of motion, and you're using the abs. You're drawing the belly button in as you push away, because that's really going to help you build that chest and core strength together. That's going to help you progress to the next step. So moving into step 4 of our push-up, we're going to do that controlled belly flop again. So if you need to grab your pillow, feel free. So I'm going to walk my hands out on the sides of my chest, and then I'm going to push up to my toes. So I'm going to draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and control my belly flop down to my knees, and let my chest go down too, and then push back into that child's pose. So let's try that again. I'm going to bring the hands outside my chest. I'm going to draw my belly button in, come up to the toes, control that belly flop down, and then use my hands and my hips to push back into child's pose. Now this is going to feel like a big progression, because now we're lowering our entire body weight down to the floor. So definitely progress this at any point that you need to, or just slow it down for yourself. There's no need to do 20 of these in a row. You could do 3 and take a break and come back in. Really think about how you're using your whole body. Make sure that as you're lowering down, you're drawing your belly in and you're squeezing the glutes a little bit as you push back into child's pose, because those muscles are really going to help us with that core alignment that's going to give us the whole body strength we need to progress. You've made it. You're ready. Coming into that full push-up, I'm going to bring the hands outside the chest. I'm going to really draw my belly in as I come up to the toes, and then squeeze the glutes throughout this entire process. So as I push away, remember that I'm pushing the thumbs towards one another, really igniting the chest as well as drawing the belly in and using the abs. And then I'm thinking about that range of motion in the shoulders. So as I push away, the shoulder blades are going to come up, and then as the elbows come back towards my rib cage, my shoulder blades are going to pull down and together, setting me up to use my back really functionally in this. And your feet are involved now too. So make sure that as you push away, you're thinking about pushing through the balls of your feet and you're squeezing your glutes. You should really feel your whole body ignited by the time you progress to that full push-up. Nice work. That was no picnic. So I want to leave you with a couple more ways to modify as you're learning to do a full push-up. Now, if you have push-up handles, you've probably tried this before, but you could also use a thick handled dumbbell and place them approximately where your wrists are. So I'm going to hold on to the dumbbells in a straight wrist position. Make sure that your wrists are straight so they feel great later. Then I'm going to push up to the toes and let myself dip down so that I'm bringing the elbows level with the rib cage and push back up. Now, this is helpful if you are someone that tends to have wrist pain, or all of a sudden in the middle of this, you're finding that this is a lot on your wrists. And this is also helpful if the full push-up is still feeling difficult, because we're elevating it just a little bit. Another way you could think about slightly modifying this is to put your feet up against a wall or a door or something very sturdy. And then I'm actually going to push through my feet and learn to really use the legs and the upper body together in my push-ups while taking just a little bit of my body weight out of the equation. The door or the wall is giving me just that little bit of support. So if you are finding, that the full push-up is still feeling like a lot, try one of those modifications and let me know which one works best for you. Thanks so much for making time to exercise with me today. I hope you feel set up with some new knowledge going into your next workout that helps you progress towards your fitness goals. If you're looking for healthy recipes, workouts, and other healthy lifestyle inspiration, please check out the rest of my YouTube channel. And if you're looking for some one-on-one support, putting together your exercise program and your nutrition plan, please reach out to me in the link in the description. In the meantime, I look forward to continuing this journey with you, and I'll see you in the next video.